Good morning, children. Uh, as we had decided earlier, and we have gone through 4 lessons of English, but now recently, as we have come to know about the portion syllabus, so we have decided now that instead of concentrating ourselves on our attention over lessons, now we will be paying our attention on only on grammar and writing skills, as well as even on unseen comprehensions. So today's session, let me introduce myself. I am Deepa Phadke. I want your attention, children, here onwards, because we will be just drilling with all kinds of MCQs based on grammar, writing skills, as well as unseen comprehension. So without wasting our time, let's begin. Now, children, see, I have provided an unseen passage, unseen comprehension. So let's read this extract given below and then try to answer. At least you can imagine the answers. Of course, we are going to discuss all the choices and then the correct one. Why the correct one has to be chosen, that also we will be discussing. So let me start reading it. Banana is a wholesome food. It is made up of water, 75%, sugar, 20%, protein, 2%, cellulose, 1%, and other substance, 1%. So, it also contains vitamins such as A, C, B1 and B2. It is quite a nourishing and easily digestible fruit. Half a kilo bananas contain 460 calories and are more nourishing than any other fruit. A type of flour is also made of dried banana. In American and Asian kitchens, bananas are used uncooked in salads and with ice creams. In Africa, people thatch roofs of their huts with the banana leaves. The plant yields a kind of fiber which is used to make ropes. So children, we have read the whole unseen passage, as I have already, it's been discussed earlier, that we are going to concentrate, we are going to focus on unseen comprehensions and all different kinds of, there are 33 different grammar topics that we are going to drill with. And then even some MCQs that will be based on writing skills. So let me give you all the best. Let's start. Now we will solve the questions that are based on this unseen comprehension. So do you want me to read it again? Children, once again I'll be reading this paragraph. Banana is a wholesome food. It is made up of water, sugar, protein, cellulose and other substance. It also contains vitamins such as A, C, B1 and B2. It is quite a nourishing and easily digestible fruit. Half a kilo bananas contain 460 calories and are more nourishing than any other fruit. So a type of flour is also made of dried banana. In American and Asian kitchens, bananas are used uncooked in salads and with ice creams. In Africa, people thatch roofs of their huts with the banana leaves. The plant yields a kind of fiber which is used to make ropes. So let's solve question number 1. Choose the correct alternative. Pick out 2 compound words. And the options are nourishing and digestible, American and African, wholesale and ice cream, vitamins and uncooked. Now children, here you need to understand that which are compound words, which is a pair of compound words. Nourishing and digestible, you can see here adjectives are used here and it is a form of adjective. The second one, again a kind of noun. Wholesome and ice cream. Look at the option C over here. Wholesome. 2 separate words have come together as a compound word. Ice cream. Again 2 separate words have been given here in a compound word. So the option C is the correct alternative. Okay children, now we will solve activity number 2. Choose the correct alternative. Pick out a word with a prefix from the extract. Now you need to find out a prefix. Children, we have learned about affixes. A group of letters that are joined in the beginning of a word becomes prefix, and a group of group of letters that are joined in the end of the word becomes suffix. You are going to find out prefix, a word with prefix over here. Digestible, ice cream, nourishing, and uncooked. Digestible, ice cream, nourishing, and uncooked. Here option D becomes a prefix because UN, group of letters U and N, have been added. It's been added in the beginning of the word cooked, so it becomes a prefix. So the correct option is uncooked, option number D. Then activity number 3. Choose the correct alternative. It is quite a nourishing and easily digestible fruit. Now children, not only but also is also going to be there for you to revise, to practice with. So now here 4 options are given. You need to add not only but also in the correct way and choose the correct answer. It is not only nourishing but also digestible fruit. Second option, it is not only nourishing but also easily digestible fruit. Third one, it is not only quite a nourishing fruit but also easily digestible. And the option 4 is, it is not only quite a nourishing but also easily digestible fruit. So children, here you understand, when you look at the given sentence, it is quite a nourishing and easily digestible fruit. So it is not only quite a nourishing but also easily digestible fruit. So option D is the correct alternative. Okay, so these 3 were the questions, children, which were framed based on this comprehension, unseen comprehension. So such kind of comprehension will be given to you. As you know it, English paper will be of 25 marks. You are going to have 200 marks paper where all these 4 sections will be given together. So just imagine that 4 subjects, 25 marks each. So it is going to be 100 marks paper, children, sorry, but you have 2 hours. So for solving English, when you will start solving English, you will have half an hour in your hands and 25 marks. Out of 25 marks, to solve it, you will have questions based on unseen comprehension, 6 to 8 lines comprehension, and we cannot say, children, how many questions will be asked based on this comprehension, but you need to prepare yourself thoroughly. And other thing is, the questions that will be based on grammar as well as writing skills. So now let's start solving all the other MCQs based on grammar. Choose the correct alternative. Look at the sentence. I did not understand classical music. Now here you are going to add a question tag, and as it is given in the question, you need to choose the correct alternative. So I did not understand. The framing of the sentence is negative. It's a negative sentence. So when you add a question tag, it should be positive. Option A, did I? Option B, didn't I? Option C, do I? And option D is don't I. So what is the rule, children? Generally we prefer while adding a question tag, you need to look at the subject, whether it is noun or pronoun. You have to look at the tense. You need to look at the main verb. If it is there, fine. If it is not there, you need to see the auxiliary verb and then the tense. And overall, if it is negative, your question tag should be positive. Here the sentence is negative. I, this pronoun is already used, and did not means it is given in the past tense. So obviously you are going to choose first option, and that is did I. So I did not understand classical music. Did I will be the correct tag. Question number 2. Choose the correct pair. I must tell this man the truth. Here must indicates as necessity, compulsion, ability or possibility, children. Now you should know each modal auxiliaries as well as their functions. In what way does every modal auxiliary function? You need to know that. When you know it, children, must is the modal auxiliary over here. So for must, what does it indicate? How does it function? Is it functioning? Is it showing necessity, compulsion, ability or possibility, children? I must tell this man the truth. It is showing compulsion. Remember, children. So the correct option is compulsion. Question number 3. Choose the incorrect pair. Now children, here if you observe all these like group of words, A option brightness, bright, brighten, brightly. B option modesty, modest. Again modest, modestly. Third one presentation, presentable, present and presently. D option is impression, impress, impressive, impressively. When you see these options, children, you need to observe them minutely. First word is a noun, second one is an adjective, whereas third one is a verb, and fourth one is in adverb form. So you need to check now whether all the words are given in the same order. Noun, noun, adjective, verb and adverb. That way you need to check everything. Now modesty, noun, modest, adjective, modest, again, verb, modestly, adverb. Presentation is a noun, presentable, adjective, present, verb, presently, adverb. Now look at the option, last option, that is D. Impression is a noun form, impress is a verb form, impressive is an adjective form, and impressively is adverb form. So over here the order has been changed, and that's the reason this becomes an incorrect option. So impression ke baad, if you see children, after noun directly verb is given, whereas in option A, B, C, after noun there is adjective, but over here there is verb after noun. So obviously option D is going to be the incorrect option. Now question number 4. Choose the correct alternative. I would like to understand music. Pick out infinitive. Children, if you know, we have learnt about non-finite verbs and their types. So accordingly, infinitive is a non-finite verb. A non-finite verb which does not, which is not related or which is not limited, you can say. It doesn't come according to the subject, singular or plural. It is a verb, but it cannot be called as a finite verb. So now you need to find out which is the non-finite verb. I would is an infinitive, children, or like is an infinitive, or to understand is an infinitive, or music is an infinitive. See children, all the words are given over here, but you need to, the minute you read the sentence, the idea about finite and non-finite verb should be very, very clear in your mind. So here like becomes finite verb and to understand becomes infinitive. To plus verb becomes infinitive. So over here option C is going to be the correct alternative. Now children, question number 5. Choose the correct alternative. Prepare a word register for grammar. See which word is given for word register? Grammar. If grammar is a word, you need to find out which of the following options are related to the word grammar. That should get registered in your mind. Narrative essays. Is an essay, children, becomes a part of grammar, or parts of speech, or information transfer, or view counter view writing, or reported speech, or sentences? Whichever from the following becomes a part of grammar only will come under the word grammar. So here parts of speech is a grammar, reported speech is a grammar, sentences also come under grammar. So only option 2, 5 and 6 will be the correct options over here. So now look at the choices that are given. Choice A shows 1, 2, 5, 6. 1 is narrative essay, which comes under writing skills, children. Same way, C option B, 1, 3, 4, 6. Again 1 is coming, so it is narrative essay. Now look at choice C, 2, 5 and 6. 2 is parts of speech, 5 is reported speech, and 6 is sentences. So I feel that C option is the correct option for a word register for the word grammar. So 2, 5, 6. Okay children, so option C is the correct alternative. Now question number 6. Choose the correct alternative. Education is the most important of all things. Change to comparative degree. Now, is the most important, the word most shows that superlative degree is used here. So you need to change this answer. You need to change the degree from superlative to comparative degree. And generally you know that, children, the most is used in the superlative, whereas more is used in the comparative degree. So look at all these options. Education is important than all things. Option B, education is more important of all things. Option C, education is more important than anything else. And option D is education is important than anything else. As we have discussed, more, this word should come, then the adjective, and then also the word than is necessary when you put any other degree into comparative degree. So option C will be the most correct option, because here it shows that education is more important than anything else. So option C is the correct one, children. Now question number 7. Children, remember one thing when we are solving this. You can go through the topics that are chosen in this session of MCQs. All these topics are going to be asked in your exam. So we have seen spot the error. Now we will be seeing then even degree. This topic is going to be there. Word register. This topic is going to be there. Infinitive, that is non-finite verbs. Their types are going to be there, and even the forms, word formation. That to noun and adverbs, verbs are going to be there in your exam, in your CET exam. So children, now we will see this. Spot the error. Children, all these kinds of questions you have solved in question number 1A in language study part. So you just have to drill with those questions over and over again. Now look at the sentence. In spite for a lot of support, he lost the case. Which word? Where can you spot the error, children, over here? In spite, or for, or a lot of, or support. Which is the error in the sentence, children? In spite of a lot of support, it should be rather, because after in spite, it is the word, preposition of comes after in spite. So here option B will be the error, or B will be the correct answer. So for is the wrong answer. For is the error in this given sentence. Rather it should be of. Now question number 8, children. Choose the correct pair. See children, you can do correction over here. Choose the correct alternative. It should be, not the pair. My mouth had often watered at the sight of them. My mouth had often watered at the sight of them. Now children, you are asked to change it into complex sentence. That means the given sentence is either a compound sentence or a simple sentence. But here the given one becomes the simple sentence because there is only one subject and one predicate in the sentence. My mouth, subject, had often watered at the sight of them becomes its predicate. So there is only one subject and one predicate in the given sentence. So obviously this sentence becomes the simple sentence. Now what you need to do over here, you need to change this simple sentence into complex. Means you are going to change one subject and one predicate into two subjects and two predicates, that too in two different clauses. In these two clauses, one should be the main clause and another one should be the subordinate clause. So look at option A. My mouth had often watered as I see them. B option. My mouth had often watered when I had seen them. C option. My mouth had often watered that I see them. And option D is when my mouth had often watered at the sight of them. After reading at all these four options, children, you understand one thing, that obviously in option A, my mouth had often watered, past perfect tense, whereas the subordinate clause, as I see them, simple present tense is used. It cannot be the correct option. Option B, my mouth had often watered when I had seen them. This becomes the correct answer, children, correct option, because had often watered also shows past perfect tense. When is the subordinator, I had seen them. Again, it remains in the past perfect tense only. That's the reason there you can see one is the main clause. The main clause becomes my mouth had often watered. When I had seen them becomes the subordinate clause. So option B should be the correct option for this answer, children. Now question number 9. Choose the incorrect pair. One could always get up from a meal feeling one could eat a little more. Now in the sentence, some words are given below from this sentence and they are could becomes an auxiliary verb. Always, yes children, always you need to think whether it's an adjective or an adverb. Then meal is a noun, little is also an adjective. So overall if you see all these choices, all these options, option B is the incorrect option, incorrect pair, because all three options show their correct word class. But when you look at always this word, it is not an adjective but it's an adverb, children. So B option is the incorrect option. Now children, question number 10. Choose the incorrect pair. Full, empty, later, earlier, gaily, happily, vindictive, forgiving. Now if you see all these options, children, you understand. Looking at the first option itself, you understand that these pairs are of antonyms. Full is the opposite of empty. Later is an opposite of earlier. Whereas gaily cannot be the opposite of happily, rather it's a synonym. And look at option D also. Vindictive is the opposite of forgiving. Vindictive means what, children? Who keeps grudges, like who's ready to take revenge, you can say. So option D is also the correct pair. You need to find out incorrect pair, and that is C, option C, where instead of antonym, synonym is given. So option C will be the incorrect pair. Question number 11. Arrange the following in alphabetical order. Children, some like group of words are given over here. Hardworking, humble, gentle, honest, interesting, straightforward. See all these words. Now the question says you need to arrange these words in an alphabetical order. Alphabetical order means in the order of A to Z. So now see how you arrange these words alphabetically. So in the series of A to Z, A comes first, same way G comes first. So gentle should be the first word. Then children, gentle is 1, 2, 3. Third word is gentle. So after looking at this group of words, you understand that any option, correct option, will begin with the number 3. So here in choices that are given A, B, C and D options, you will choose first of all those which begins with 3. So here option C and D begin with 3. So obviously the correct answer is going to be between option C and D only. Children, we have discussed earlier that even though 4 choices and options are given to you, 2 are always like outdated. There's no question about those 2, but remaining 2 only you get jumbled more often. So what you need to do, you need to have like clarity about the answer. Then it becomes easy to choose the correct option. So here third one, that is gentle. After gentle, which word will come first, children? Is it hardworking, humble or honest? Which word will come first? Obviously hardworking, because after H there is A. So 3, after that 1 should come. Okay, so 3, 1. Then when you look at this option C, children, the next number is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth word is honest. Obviously HU humble and HO honest. So humble and honest, this word should come first. So gentle, then hardworking, then honest and then humble should come first. So 3, 1, 4, 2 and then children I comes first, interesting, and then the last word will be straightforward. So what will be the order, children? What will be the order? 3, 1, 4, 2, yes children, 2 and then 5 and 6. So C and D, between these two options, the option D will be the correct one, because 3, 1, 4, 2, 5, 6. This is the order, children. It should be written alphabetically. So children, this is the way you need to calculate, or you need to have clarity about the answer. Now children, the next question is question number 12. Choose the correct alternative. Now here an idiom is given, children. So let me again tell all of you that if you are studying different grammar topics, even this is going to be there in your exam. You will be given proverbs or idioms, and you need to find out their meanings. So overall, you need to take a glance over these proverbs and idioms and their meanings thoroughly, you can see. So blessing in disguise means what? Not coming to the point, or not giving up, or to be sick, or something may have seemed unpleasant at the beginning, but have yielded, but have resulted, or have come with positive results later. So which option is the correct option, children? Here children, you need to remember the proverbs and idioms and their meanings properly. You cannot judge like that. You must know their meanings very, very properly. So here, a blessing in disguise. What do you mean by blessing, children? When you get blessings, isn't it positive vibes from the elders? And disguise is what, children? You have learned this word. So what do you mean by the word disguise? When you try to appear in some other form, isn't it? So the same meaning is getting reflected into option D. Something may have seemed unpleasant in the beginning, but have yielded positive results later. This should be the correct option for the meaning of a blessing in disguise. So children, now let's go through question number 13. Choose the correct pair. It's not a pair, children. Let me correct it. You need to choose the correct answer over here. Read the sentence. Follow my example. She said as we shook hands, and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. Change into reported speech. Children, let me clarify once again that we had decided that we will go through all the lessons. So accordingly, we have completed 4 lessons, and I tried my level best to take maximum sentences from the lesson, the luncheon, so that way you cover grammar topics through that lesson. So this is the sentence from the lesson, the luncheon. Now the sentence is, follow my example. She said as we shook hands, and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. You need to change this direct speech into indirect speech, that is into reported speech, and the options are, she told the writer to follow her example and shook her hands with him and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. Now children, you need to observe these options, these answers minutely. You need to revise all those rules which we follow while changing direct speech into indirect speech. So what are the rules, children, generally when we try to solve direct into indirect speech? We remove the commas and inverted commas. We put direct speech into indirect. Wherever tenses, we need to put it into its complete tense, we can say. And now here it gets divided into 2 parts, if you see. So how these 2 parts have to be joined into indirect speech, that has to be thought over. Now look at the second one. As she shook her hands with him, she told the writer to follow her example and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. As she shook her hands with him. So what activity has taken place first, children? Follow my example, she said as she shook her hands. So as she shook her hands, she told the writer. What did she tell the writer? To follow her example, and also she added something. And she also told that never eat more than one thing for luncheon. So I feel that second option is the correct one, but still we need to go through remaining 2 also. When she shook her hands with him, she told the writer to follow her example and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. Fourth one, while she shook her hands with him and told the writer to follow her example and never ate 8 is given, children. More than one thing for luncheon. So option D is out of question. Option C is also out of question. Why? Because when she shook her hands with him, she told the writer to follow her example and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. This also cannot be the correct answer, children. So I feel option B is the more accurate or correct answer for reported speech, because it gives the whole information that has been given in the direct speech, as well as even the tenses are used correctly. As she shook her hands, she told two things: follow her example and never eat more than one thing for luncheon. So option B is going to be the correct option, children, for the given direct speech. Now question number 14. Choose the correct pair. Again, children, you need to correct over here. It's not the pair, but it's the answer. It's a option. Today she weighs 21 stone. Add a question tag. Children, we have already done this kind of question earlier also. Whenever you are adding a question tag, you have to check which noun or pronoun comes in the place of subject, which tense is used, and then overall if the sentence is positive or negative. Now here, today she weighs 21 stone. Already the word pronoun has come into the place of subject. So you know that whenever the pronoun comes in the place of subject, you need not change it. You have to add it into the tag as it is. But instead of pronoun, if the noun would have come, then according to that noun, according to the gender, you have to use the correct appropriate pronoun in or while adding a question tag. Now here the sentence is positive because no, not, never, these kinds of words, negative words, are not being used, and the sentence is also given in simple present tense. She weighs, isn't it? So now the sentence is positive. Main verb is used here, weighs. So whenever there is main verb and there is absence of auxiliary verb, you have to use the word do, does, did, the correct form of do, does, did. Now she is the singular pronoun, so you have to use does only while adding a tag. The sentence is positive, so you have to make it negative in tag. So isn't she, or did she, or doesn't she, or is she? Which option will be the correct option, children, over here? Today she weighs 21 stone. Doesn't she? Only doesn't she will be the correct option. As I have already explained to children that you should know she is the pronoun. Weighs shows simple present tense and there is no auxiliary verb. If auxiliary verb would have come, you just have to put it into like its opposite. If negative is used, you have to add a tag positive. If positive sentence has come, you have to add a negative tag. So here she weighs, so obviously doesn't she will be the correct option. Now question number 15, children. You need to find out, choose correct option. We waited for the asparagus to be cooked. Change to present continuous tense. Now children, even tense, this topic is going to be there for all of you to drill with. So see the options here that are given. Look at the sentence, given sentence first. We waited for the asparagus. Waited, simple past tense is used. So simple past tense has to be changed into present continuous tense. So now children, when you are changing simple past tense into present continuous, you should have the clarity, like you should have the idea what exactly comes. We have learnt all three tenses, main tenses, and their four subtenses each. So you know that it is the present tense which you are asked to put it into, and that too in continuous tense. So present continuous tense means am, is, are, and then verb in ing form. Please remember, children. So when it is instead of present continuous, if it would have been present perfect, then you should know that has oblique have and then past participle form of the verb. So this way, children, immediately when the question comes in front of you, you should know what exactly changes you need to make, and accordingly you need to search for the answer. So look at option A. We were waiting for the asparagus to be cooked. We were waiting. So were waiting shows past continuous tense. So this option is going to be the wrong option. We have been waiting. Have been, present perfect continuous tense. No, this is not being asked. Now option C is we had been waiting. Had been, past perfect continuous tense. So this is also not the correct option. Now look at the option D. We are waiting for the asparagus to be cooked. Present continuous tense, am oblique are oblique is plus verb in ing form. So exactly it suits over here. The last option, we are waiting. So the last option will be the correct option, children. Now question number 16. Choose the correct answer. But I have just had a snack and I shall enjoy a peach. Rewrite as a complex sentence. So children, you should know that types of sentences, kinds of sentences, their transformation is going to be asked. So you need to revise this topic too. But I have just had a snack and I shall enjoy a peach. And see, there is a coordinator and is used, which is joining two separate clauses here in the given sentence. But I have just had a snack. This is the first clause. I shall enjoy a peach. This is second clause. These two clauses are joined with the coordinating conjunction. We have studied, children, whenever you see coordinators joining two clauses, whenever coordinator comes, it becomes compound sentence. And whenever subordinator comes, children, to make a complex sentence, you have to have two clauses, one as a main clause and the another which becomes a subordinate clause because it comes along with the subordinator. So you can say now that the given sentence is a compound sentence because it is getting joined with two clauses with the coordinator and. Now that and has to be removed, and in sum between these two clauses, one clause should become the main clause and the other one should come along with the subordinator. That's the reason we have to change the given sentence, compound sentence, into a complex sentence. Now look at the option A. When I have just had a snack, I shall enjoy a peach. See now, children, as we have discussed earlier, two clauses are given. You need to find out which one will become the main clause and another one will come along with the subordinator. When I have just had a snack, I shall enjoy a peach. Will it be the correct option, children? Please think over it. Now see, second one. Though I have just had a snack, I shall enjoy a peach. When do we use when, children? When we have to denote, it denotes time, isn't it? But is the sentence denoting time, children? You have to think over that subordinator. Which subordinator should join which clause? These two questions should be very clear in your mind. Now look at option B also. When do we use the subordinators though or although? When two clauses becomes contradictory or maybe not similar with each other. So this option also becomes a wrong option. Now look at option C. As I have just had a snack, I shall enjoy a peach. Children, option C becomes the correct option because out of these two clauses, but I have just had a snack and I shall enjoy a peach. Which one will come first? Obviously, I have just had a snack. So we need to remove but and add a subordinator over there, and that is as. As I have just had a snack, comma, now and this coordinator also has to be removed, children. Please remember this. I shall enjoy a peach. This clause will become the main clause. So option C should be the correct option. Now look at option D also. Although I have just had a snack, I shall enjoy a peach. Again, children, we have discussed about subordinators, though, although. These words show like contradictory clauses. So over here, even option D will be the incorrect option. So only option C is the correct option, children. Now question number 17. Choose the correct option over here. Look at the given sentence. She had read a book of mine and had written to me about it. See, there are two clauses in the sentence. She had read a book of mine. This is the first clause. And had written to me about it. And she had written to me about it. Had written to me about it becomes the second clause. So over here, children, two clauses are joined with the coordinator, conjunction and. So the given sentence becomes the compound sentence, and now you need to change it into simple sentence. So where there are two clauses joined with the coordinator conjunction, you need to change it into a simple sentence where you will get only one subject and one predicate. So look at option A. Reading a book of mine, she had written to me about it. Option B. Having read a book of mine, she had written to me about it. C. Getting read a book of mine, she had written to me about it. And option D is, on reading a book of mine, she had written to me about it. Now children, isn't it jumbling? Even though it is jumbling, children, you should know, you should be able to understand the accurate meaning of the given sentence also. Look at the given sentence once again. She had read a book of mine. First she read that book and then she had written to me about it. So looking at all these options, reading a book of mine also will be the wrong one, isn't it? While reading, the sentence will be the wrong sentence. Having read a book of mine, whereas the sentence shows past perfect tense, had read. So having read also will not be the correct option. Then option C, getting read a book of mine. Remember children, you cannot add a few more verbs on your own. You have to see the sentence and accordingly only you need to choose or you need to find out, you need to get the correct answer. So option D will be the correct one, children. On reading a book of mine, first she read the book and on reading it, she had written to me about it. So option D will be the correct option. Now question number 8, children. Choose the incorrect pair. Look at the pairs. Forget, remember. So again, this is also based about, like it is antonyms moreover. Busy, free, special, modest, quiet, talkative. Now looking at these 4 options, you understand that 3 options are about antonyms, but one option doesn't show opposite words. Special, modest. There's no similarity either. It is not showing any like opposite ideas also. It is not showing any contradiction also. So forget is the opposite of remember. Busy is the opposite of free. Quiet is the opposite of talkative. Whereas special cannot be the opposite of modest. So option C will be the incorrect pair. Now look at question number 19. You need to find out the synonym, and the word given is mortifying. Now children, when such kind of synonyms and antonyms will be given to you, directly you will be asked about the meaning. Whenever it's about meaning, children, you should know correct meanings. When you don't know the meaning of mortifying, you cannot find it out, you cannot guess also. Okay, so please go through all glossary words that are there in your English textbook and go through all grammar part also, synonyms, antonyms. Okay, you need to go through them thoroughly. So children, the meaning of mortifying is it exciting or is it happy, is it sad or is it embarrassing? Which word will be the correct meaning for the given word mortifying? Children, it's embarrassing. And the word correct option is D option for the word mortifying. Question number 20. Choose the correct alternative. If I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, I could manage well enough. Identify the clauses. See, the sentence is given and you need to simply identify the main clause and the subordinate clause. Children, here, this way, this kind of a question is given. You may be also asked to identify the main clause and the type of subordinate clause. So thinking that way, I have provided even the subordinate type of like subordinate clause also. So both the ways it can be asked. Either you'll be asked to identify only main clause and subordinate clause, or also main clause and the subordinate type. Now if I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, this is the first clause. I could manage well enough. This is second clause. So the subordinator if is the subordinator, children. We all have studied if, till, until. whether all these are subordinators. So if is the subordinator and it is joined to the first clause, obviously the first clause becomes a subordinate clause. So just find out in the given options where this option is given correctly. If I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, see children, option A is the wrong option because it is not a main clause. If I cut out, look at option C. If I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, it becomes subordinate adverb clause of condition because if the subordinator denotes condition. So obviously C option is going to be the correct option. And then children, if I could manage well enough, subordinate adverb clause of condition. So option B is also the wrong option. So A and B are wrong options. C and D are going to be the correct option. Children, here also you can make a correction. Instead of A, B, C, D, obviously A, B, C, D are given, but in the correct option, even A, B or C, D, in that case you need to choose C and D, these two options only. Because if I cut out coffee for the next 2 weeks, this becomes subordinate adverb clause of condition, and I could manage well enough becomes the main clause. Now question number 21, children. Choose the correct alternative. He was the best bet we had. Again, this is a question, children, which is based on degree. Change to degree of comparison to comparative degree. So you are going to change the given degree. It is maybe in the positive or in the superlative degree. So can you imagine, children, the given sentence, given degree is positive or superlative? Obviously it is the superlative degree because the word best has come over here. He was the best bet we had. So the given degree is superlative. You need to change superlative into comparative degree. We have studied, children, when we have to change the degree into comparative degree, remember you have to choose, or you have to either use more if it is irregular adjective, and if it is regular adjective you have to put it into like now best is the superlative degree. So good will be positive degree, better will be comparative degree. So better than, these two words are so important while changing superlative into comparative. A very few bets that we had was not better than him. Now see, children, when you are changing the degree, remember the meaning should remain same. So that way you need to bring out changes into the sentence. So first option is going to be the wrong option. Now look at option B. We had the best bet and it was him. This is also wrong, children, because the word better is also not there and than is also not there. So B option is also out of question. Then option C. No other bet that we had was better than him. See, children, this option is going to be the correct option because the meaning is not getting changed. He was the best bet we had and no other bet that we had was better than him. The meaning is same, but we have changed the degree from superlative to comparative. And option D is he was the better bet than that we had. This is also the wrong statement, children. So option C is going to be the correct option. Question number 22, children. Choose the correct alternative. Now, children, as we have discussed, there are so many grammar topics which we have to do drilling with. Even punctuate the sentence is going to be there for your set exam. It is a masterpiece, he gasped, the work of accomplished hands. You need to punctuate the given sentence. We have learned, children, different punctuation marks, isn't it? Now you have to put the sentence which is without punctuation, you need to put punctuation marks. Remember, wherever, now it's a kind of direct speech, so you have to use double inverted comma, you have to use other punctuation marks too. It is, see, look at option A. It is a masterpiece. He gasped, the work of accomplished hands. It is a masterpiece, comma, he gasped, the work of accomplished hands. No. Look at option B. It is a masterpiece, he gasped, the work of accomplished hands. This is also, this seems to be incomplete, children. Incomplete punctuation marks are given over here. Now look at option C. It is a masterpiece, he gasped, the work of accomplished hands. Yes, children, this option is the correct option, because the first part is a direct speech which has been given with double inverted commas as well as exclamatory mark. He gasped. After that, even a comma has to be given. And again, the next part of the sentence, remaining part of the sentence, is direct speech, the work of accomplished hands, along with exclamatory mark. So now look at option D. It is a masterpiece, he gasped, the work of accomplished hands. Here exclamatory mark is not used, children. So you can understand that the option C is the correct option. Question number 23. Choose the correct alternative. Now children, we have already solved a question with non-finite verb, and that it was infinitive. Now we are going to identify the gerund. I like reading good literature. And the options are like, reading, good, and literature. Now children, gerund is what? What is gerund? Gerund is also a non-finite verb. So now children, you need to identify the verb which is a non-finite, which is not a finite verb, which is not a main verb. So I like reading good literature, like will become the main verb, that is finite verb. Now which is the remaining verb that you can see here? Reading. So reading will be the correct option, because verb in ing form but doesn't function to be the verb, rather it functions to be the noun. And reading is a word, children, which is functioning as a noun and not as a verb over here. So reading is the correct alternative. Question number 24, children. Choose the correct alternative. May you succeed in all your endeavors. Identify the type of sentence. Children, I have told you that even the type of sentences like assertive, declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, imperative, these kinds of sentences are also going to be asked. Maybe they will be asked for identification either, or they will be asked for transformation either. So that way, children, you need to prepare yourself. Now, may you succeed in all your endeavors. Is it a statement, children? When it is a normal statement, it becomes assertive. When it's a question, it becomes interrogative. When like exclamatory mark is used, it becomes exclamatory sentence. And when there is a request, there is a command, even a strong wish, it becomes imperative. Now your blessings are given. May you succeed in all your endeavors. So what type of a sentence it will become, children? It will be the imperative sentence. So option D is the correct option. Question number 25. Choose the correct alternative. Now children, look at the sentence. Have faith in yourself and give wings to your imagination. State the part of speech of the underlined words. So children, you might have understood by this time that even all those grammar topics like sentences based on different grammar topics we have discussed in today's session, all these grammar topics are there for your CET. So even parts of speech is going to be there, maybe word class or maybe for identification they will be asked. Now here underlined words are yourself and imagination. Yourself. What do you mean by yourself, children? What is the word class of yourself? It's a pronoun. And then when we add T-I-O-N, double S-I-O-N, single S-I-O-n, N-E-double-S, M-E-N-T, all these we add while changing the word into a noun form. So imagine is a verb form, imagination will be the noun form. So yourself, pronoun, imagination is a noun, children. So preposition and noun, option C is wrong. Noun and pronoun, option B is also wrong. Pronoun and noun, yes, yourself, myself, himself, all these are pronouns. So pronoun and imagination is a noun. So option C will be the correct option. Okay, C option will be the correct option. Now next one, question number 26. Choose the incorrect alternative. Children, we have learnt about compound words. Am I right? So we know that there are some words which are used also separately, independently we can say, as well as they are used together. So compound words are those words that can come separate as well as together. Handshake. Handshake. So hand is a separate word, shake is a separate word, handshake is a compound word. Same way textbook, compound word. Incorrect. Now children, look at the word incorrect. What do you mean by incorrect, children? What kind of a word it will become? Is it a compound word? It's definitely not, because in is a prefix that's been added to the word correct. So incorrect will be the incorrect alternative for the given question. So option C is the correct option, children. Now question number 27. He was harassed, slapped, knocked and beaten up. Now children, when you read the sentence, see, there are 4 options given. Children, we have studied. Now you are very much like you got acquainted with the portion that is going to be there for CET English. All grammar topics, unseen comprehension, even some questions that will be based on writing skills, as well as when poems are concerned, children, we have learnt about different like poetic device, figures of speech. So maybe 1 or 2 sentences will be given for you to identify figure of speech. So here he was harassed, slapped, knocked and beaten up. Children, look at these options. Simile. Is the simile option correct, children? Because simile is when there is direct comparison. Apostrophe. What do you mean by apostrophe, children? Apostrophe means where the person is addressed who is not present, or abstract ideas we can say. So apostrophe also not suitable for the given sentence. Climax. What do you mean by climax, children? When the things are arranged in ascending order, it becomes climax. Exactly opposite of it, when the things are arranged in descending order, it becomes anticlimax. So he was harassed, then he was slapped, then knocked and then beaten up. All these things are arranged in ascending order. So the correct option will be climax. Question number 28. Choose the correct alternative. When you write, now children, we are going to have some questions that are based on writing skills. Imagine when you write a letter to a company, which of the following information do you include? Your address, company's address, yours sincerely. This also has to be included, no children? Or all the above. Which option will be chosen by you? Remember children, when I said writing skills are also going to be tested, you need to know the idea about the format. What is the format of formal letter writing, informal letter writing? You should know about it. So you know it, children. Your address is also required. Company's address is also required. Even towards the end, you also have to write yours sincerely, yours faithfully. So these 3 things are a must over here, children, while writing a formal letter. So all the above will be the correct option. Now question number 29, children. Here also you are going to choose correct alternative. While writing a counter view, which of the following points should be remembered, children? See, you have studied, rather you have followed, you have practiced view and counter view writing also. Whatever is the topic given in view section, you are asked to write down its counter view. Counter means what, children? Opposite view, isn't it? Counterpart, that is opposite view. So while writing a counter view, which of the following points should be remembered? Should it be like this, that you must write your view of the given topic? Is it like that, means counter view? No. Option B, must accept the given topic of view section. Whatever is given, suppose a statement like helmet should be used or helmet should be made compulsory while driving. If this is the statement given in the view section, then you need to write in the counter view that why helmet shouldn't be used. So even if you agree with the given topic, yes, you must accept the given topic of view section. But is it only the thing that is required? Now see option C also. Must write the counter view even though the view section is acceptable. Just now I said, children, that helmet should be worn compulsorily while driving. If this is the statement given in the view section, then even though you agree with it, you are very much like you agree, it is very much acceptable, still while writing the counter view, you have to present all the views in your counter view that is opposite to the view section. So C option is going to be the correct option, children. Now look at option D also. Must write on the view section only. No. When you are asked to write a counter view, even if you view section is given, you must write the counter view even though the view section is acceptable. So option C only will be the correct option. Now children, we are on the last question. Question number 30. You are going to choose the correct alternative. What do you mean by verbal to non-verbal when you transfer the information, children? We have studied and we have followed, we have practiced many a times this writing skill. Information transfer, that is sometimes it's done verbal to non-verbal and sometimes vice versa, that is non-verbal to verbal. Now here, what is it? What do you mean by verbal to non-verbal? So you should know, children, that transfer the information from diagram to paragraph format, or transfer the information from paragraph to diagram format, or transfer the information from paragraph to paragraph format, or none of the above. What do you mean by verbal, children? You should know that verbal is a paragraph format. So from a paragraph format to non-verbal means which is not the paragraph, rather which is some kind of a diagram. Maybe a flow chart will be given, a tabular format will be given, or anything, children, or a tree diagram is given. So verbal to non-verbal means transfer the information from paragraph to diagram format. So option C only will be the correct option over here. So children, we have seen now some questions that were based on writing skills. So such kinds of questions based on writing skills also can be asked, where mostly I feel, this is my personal opinion, but you will be asked about the format only. What exactly is the format? That is going to be tested. So children, we have discussed a variety of MCQs in this session, moreover based on writing skills, unseen comprehensions and grammar topics. All that you need to do is you need to focus on practicing different grammar topics, unseen comprehensions thoroughly, as well as writing skills. So format of writing skills also should be thoroughly revised by you all, children. So children, now let me make a move and let me thank all of you for sharing, for actually spending your time, and I hope that this session is going to be very useful to all of you while revising your grammar and writing skills. Thank you, children.